Kata Enpi roughly means flying swallow, flight of the swallow. Hence from what I've been told, the up and down movement in the kata. It's very similar to Basai Dai, where the hip techniques are involved quite a lot within this kata. It's all quite linear, so again, a bit like first, second cypher and Basai Dai, it's all quite linear. Let me first of all apologise for the rain, if you can hear it. So we'll get into it. I'll go through some of the pitfalls, I'll go through the mechanics of the kata itself. Again, some of it is repeated, so I'll show you on one side, I'll show you one part of that, and then you just repeat that throughout the kata. So first of all, Enpi kata starts off obviously a haikadech, and we bring our left foot into our right foot. At that same time, right hand is closed, left hand is open on the hip. So it's here. What's going to happen then, and they're both moved together by the way, so it's not 1, 2. It all happens together, all at the same time. And then we're going to step our left foot out. Now the left foot, I'll come a little bit closer so you can see. The left foot steps out and back. So it's going to be slightly behind the right. So I'll do the sideways on view, so it's slightly out and back. And then, so we can, when we twist, we can drop. The goal here is, and I haven't changed this for Tadashi. I suppose I could have made it a little bit longer in the step, but I just kept it quite short. So when you step out and back. Now, there's nothing wrong with collapsing the back foot and the back leg. The goal here is that when you twist and drop, is to have the knee level with the ankle. Not behind, not too far behind, not too far forward, but level with the ankle. So from this position here, it's going to be in, step out first, make sure the hips remain forwards, and then we're just going to simply twist and drop at the same time. Twist and drop. Now I've put the knee on the floor, it doesn't go all the way to the floor, it does come to here. There's absolutely, again, nothing wrong with you dropping to this position if you are more flexibility challenged. So you can, the bunkai would change depending on how high you're going to be, etc. So from here, in, step, twist. Now, if the right hand needs to be past the backside, so there's going to be a slight angle, there's going to be a slight bend in the right arm, so it's not straight, slight bend, and the left hand just comes to solar plex, or rather, solar plex comes to the left hand. Step and twist. Now when you come back, if you've landed properly, what should happen is when you pivot on the right foot on the heel, and then we can pivot on the left foot on the ball if we've stepped properly, and we should finish in haikadachi or thereabouts. Again, there's nothing wrong with putting a slight step with the left foot, nothing wrong with that whatsoever. So we drop, up and in. There we are, haikadachi. Just pivot it on from this position. Sorry, we pivot on the ball on the right foot, pivot on the heel on the left foot, just to get that action happening, and we finish in haikadachi. So we come back to here, cup and saucer, left hand closed, right hand open. Going out to the right, block and Gedanbarai. Make sure you look, guide. Now your step for the Gedanbarai is going to be the same as the first step, on with the opposite leg. Stepping out into Zen Kosadachi, big step back and out to the right with a guide arm and a preparation, twist into the stance. Don't use all your hips, keep the hips 45 degrees, only use a certain amount. Now, different styles got different ways of doing this next part. So from here, we dropped, come back up, out and back. Now, there's different parts to this. Some styles come across with a Haikozuki. I prefer Geranuke, not moving the feet, but certainly moving the hips and collapsing that right leg, and then shuffling into Haikozuki into Kibudechi. So from here again, Geranuke, comes across, twist. The right foot is the reason you step across. So if you were to, from this position, throw that left foot heel into the stance, that will help the right foot drag in. So we're now here with this Haiko in Kibudechi. Now we're going to come forwards again, hips and shoulders are square. So I want to make sure that from this position, as you step out, that you throw the left hip forwards. So as you're stepping forwards, it kind of throws into the stance. With that Gedambarai, remember the guide arm into the stance. Again, finishing 45. One thing I've changed for Tadashi is I've made it more, well, from what I know, is I've made it more of a shorter can-based strike. So from the sideways on view, comes down, up, finishes wrist bent here. So from here, up and strike, under the chin. Grabbing the back of the head, up to the knee, down into a long stance, Kosadachi, strike. All that's going to happen at the same time, so you're going to land the stance and then into the strike. I do have some ideas on Kosadachi. I've searched the internet and I've got other ideas on what Kosadachi is used for, but I can go into that another time when we do some Bonkai. So from this position, stroke around knee, right hand doesn't move, step into Kosadachi and finish. Right hand is up, left arm is down. Striking groin level as you step. Now this is the part that, probably one of the main parts that people get slightly wrong with this, is the step twist. So I'll do it as it's in the kata, and then I'll do it from the side. Step, twist, step, twist. When we do that step twist, the main thing is what the feet are doing. So when we step out with a slight lean away. It's not here, slight lean away. Now notice where the feet are pointing. What's going to happen is before we twist, step out, both feet pointing roughly the same direction, and then both feet twist at the same time as you have this pull away. Now the body doesn't straighten, the body only comes upwards purely because you're collapsing this back leg. When you collapse the back leg, you have to keep the feet pointing the same direction. At that point, you can then twist into the stance. So you can go from here, twisted, step, twist again. So you have that extra double twist. And then obviously you repeat one, it's going to go this way, one, around, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, with that, the main thing with that step twist is keeping the feet. I call it the attitude of the feet. So as we are here and we twist, just here, I'm not asking you to zoom in on my feet, but just try and notice where they're placed. Notice that the front foot's going to move, but it remains pointing in that same direction. And then at that position, we can then twist both feet into the stance, into your Zen Kosadachi. So we've done this. So now from this position, we're going to come up 45 degrees. So rather than pushing with the front foot, just collapse that back leg. Drag in the front foot, hand and leg work together. Look into the front of the room. We're going to open the hips. As the hand gets in front of the face, start to follow the hand. Step out into Kibarachi, set. Key with this is not to move the right foot too much. So we don't come up, fidget around and then move. The key is to keep this right foot staying, the right foot in place. From here we come up, open the hips, step out into Kibarachi with the left foot, and then as we set in the stance, we can then push that right foot into the stance. Looking at the hand, elbow same out as the shoulder. Treat this as a basic Bonkai would be a block. From here we're going to go to the 45 degree. Hiza, Kaki Hizadachi, from what I can gather. Kaki Hizadachi to the knee. Tetsui to your left hand. First key eye point. From this position, look, prepare. Step your right foot into Kibarachi. So the right foot should be pointing forwards now. As you move the hand, the right hand and the left hand together, the stance can set. So everything's going to happen same time. Unlike Basai Dai, 1, 2, you're going to set the stance with the hands. So we're here at the key eye point. Don't have this too close. So have this in here, have this further out. So it's a bit like when you strike head level, it's a bit like a punch that's not finished. Striking towards the palm. Not the hands, not the fingers, the palm. Prepare, step, turn. Double punch, 1, 2. You can use a bit of gamaku in there, not too much hip, because if you use too much hip, it negates the stance. So from here, you can use a little bit of hip tremor. And we step out as we did for, I don't know, second kata. Step. All you gotta do with this is step straight back. Keep the hips square. Where are we here? Step straight back and prepare. Twist. Both feet. Twist into this. So head level punch next. Head level punch as you normally would. And then we're going to come forward into kokuto dachi. Kokuto dachi is in mechanics. I don't know if it's in the dachi, in the stances, or if it's in blocks. But it's in the mechanics of how to do kokuto dachi properly. So come out into kokuto dachi. Block and shoot, okay? Now we're going to step back and then we're going to go forwards. So when we step back, feet need to point, as kokuto dachi is, feet point in the same direction. So this back foot's pointing 90 degrees to my front. We come back, pull them both together before we execute and step. So from here, step and prepare, step out, execute the stance. That would obviously be done a little bit quicker than that. From here, in, through. Next technique is a short punch. Now when I say short punch, I don't mean it's a shitazuki. What I mean is it's just a punch that's not fully completed, purely because of where the hips are. So when you strike, it's just arm, no hip. If you use hip, it negates the stance, so be careful when using hips. So from this position, strike. This arm is nice and flat, or as flat as it possibly can be. And then from here, all we're going to do is step forwards with our right leg, right arm, block and shoot okay in kokuto dachi. Now from that position, we step our back foot across. So the back foot comes behind us, prepare to get elbow right with the left arm, turn and block. And again, there's that step twist, that hippie, not hippie, but that hippie movement. From here, step, twist. Execute the Jordan, execute the grab, Hiza, into kokuto dachi with the groin strike, step out, feet, step out. Next part of this is, for me, needs to be flowing. I would call it flowery. Just a little bit, not as jagged as some people would execute this. I'll show you the jagged way, then I'll show you how I like it performed. So we're here. Right hand down, up. Notice that the right hand moves with the hip. Up, and it's just finished. Just below palm level, just below shoulder level. Left hand is closed back on the hip. From this position, we're going to step halfway in. Now when we step halfway in, it's not here. Just step where the knot of the belt is, and then step out again. And there's that foot movement with the hip twist. So both feet point the same, they're not moved anywhere, they're not twisted. When we step out now, we twist both feet into this next technique. The jagged version, stopping halfway. For the basic bunkai, that's not going to work. It has to be a flowing movement. And I always teach to lead with the wrists. So when you hear 1, 2, continuous movement, don't stop. There has to be a step all the way through. So when we do that, right hand drops, left arm up, right leg is out, right hand up, left arm down. Just like you are, forgive the term, painting the fence. So that's basically how the hands are going to move, like painting the fence. If you don't understand that, you really probably shouldn't be in a karate gi. Do your homework, go watch Karate Kid. The original, not the Jackie Chan version. From here, what happens when we step forwards, don't move the hips. Don't move the hips purposefully. Move them naturally. So when I say move them purposefully, what I mean is 2. Don't do that. Just let, as the left foot steps forwards, let the hips come off naturally. See, there's slightly off 45. They're square. We want it to work natural, not purposefully, not like we're putting the effort in. So from this position, step, turn the wrists, execute the hip as we move. This gets repeated a few times, so I'll show you this way on. So you can see the hip and the hand work together. 1, as the right hand pushes, hip executes, finish the stance, finish the stance. Try and have your palm heel, your palm heel below knuckles on the bottom hand, and try and have your palm above knuckles on the top hand, so you have this kind of, that shape there, not here, here. You execute that 3 times, so we've come forwards, 1, 2, 3. Be careful not to move the hands this direction. Up and down. Turn at the wrists, push up. Turn at the wrist, push down. Next technique, we step into kokusadach, blocking gerambarai with the hand on solar plex. So from here, you don't necessarily have to, well, I personally would, but I don't suppose you have to. From this position, step feet together, left hand is already down as a guide arm, so don't move it. Then step out into your kokusadach. Block down with your gerambarai. 1, 2. I'll do it this way so you can see. Step, step. Notice the back foot and the hand are working together, working in conjunction with each other. Now the next bit is the grab. Breaking this down, feet and hands move together. So I'll show you from the front ways and then I'll show you from the sideways. So from here, as the front foot extends, the hands come back to the hip. So I've gone into this really, really long kokusadach. Not really, because it's not back leaning really, I'm more central. And then as the back foot moves, hands pull in. Forehead and groin. Sideways on would be from here. 1, 2. Notice that there's a slight lean there. The next part is everyone's favourite bit, which is the jump. Now, you don't spin 360 degrees. You're only technically spinning in the air 180 degrees. So we don't start to spin until we get to this position. Now, when we're in this position, what I like to describe is twist, let that left leg low. So from here, watching the left leg, bend it some more so that you can use this to push and you can use your right leg to lift up. Now I'll do the walk through and then I'll try and attempt the jump itself. So the walk through from the front ways on would be 1, knee up, down, 2. From the sideways on view would be, the stance by the way is 1.5 shoulder widths, feet perpendicular. 1, say stumbling, 2, 3, 4. That's the walk. And when you're doing the jump, try not to jump with straight legs and try not to kick your heels up behind you. The goal with the jump is to lift your knees in the air. So I don't know how this is going to look. Not done it for a while, so just bear with me. And sideways on. Don't have to do it 2 times in a row. Sideways on, up, and land. It's difficult to do. The goal is to not land on the heel, to land on the ball of the foot, so that when you do land, you don't have that jagged drop. When you land, the kokusadach can take some of the weight for you. And then there's obviously a key eye point. 2 ways to do this, and this is how I teach it. If you land the jump and it's solid, hold it and then move into your next kokusadach. If you land the jump and it's a little bit wobbly, move straight away. So you can either have 1, 2, 3, land, move, or you can have 1, 2, 3, land, then move. So it's up to you how you want to do that really. It can differ each time because sometimes you can have balance, sometimes you might lose a little bit. Either way, I really don't think it matters, and if it does, I'm teaching that, so I really don't care. Once you go into your final kokusadach, you just simply finish exactly as you started. Now the bow is same as basai. Hands first, feet second, bow, yui. Enpi's it's a difficult kata, but just know that it's all based around basics. So, you know, for the most part, I don't think there's anything there that's really advanced. You know, you may think, well, you know, we don't teach tetsuis. Technically, yeah, we do. It's called sotuke, but it's just a high sotuke. We don't teach knee strikes. Well, yes, we do. It's just the preparation of a front kick. So we do. We don't teach kosadach. No, we don't teach kosadach. No, but it's just one foot behind the other. Which again, I've got my ideas on that. So you know, give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a comment. If you got something from it, let me know. If you didn't get anything from it, let me know. That was kata Enpi. I believe there's two spellings. I think Enpi is the kata, and EM for mother, Empi is your Enpi strike. I don't think they're the same, but who am I? I'm not Japanese. Other than that, hope you got something from it, and I look forward to seeing you next time.